Where's Waldo is more than just a title. It's a tremendously astute question for which I have no answers, but I'm 93% sure he's not in this game. Well, 91%. This is The Mystery of the Crystal Portal, a PlayStation Mini for the PlayStation 3. Developed by G5 Entertainment, Crystal Portal is obviously very similar to the headache-inducing Where's Waldo books. It's a hidden object game with a very simple premise. Stare at the screen, find hidden objects, search for your father in a mysterious crystal portal, you know, normal, everyday stuff. That's what makes The Mystery of the Crystal Portal so special. It's absolute and unflinching attention to realism. Think about it. If you were searching a room for a hidden item, but had no idea what that hidden item actually is, you'd probably start by searching aimlessly beneath the couch cushions, inside your mom's pottery, and that's exactly what you'll be doing in The Mystery of the Crystal Portal, clicking on everything you see until you happen to select the object you were supposed to. To be fair, the sleuthing only starts off that way. To be honest, it doesn't get much better either. You see, each area you explore begins with finding a so-called key object, an item which must be found before the level or screen or whatever you want to call it really gets underway. This process usually doesn't last longer than a few seconds, as you simply click whichever items seem conspicuous to you, and it doesn't take long to stumble across the correct one. But that's the thing. It's a completely random process, a criticism which applies to the entire game. Fortunately, things change after you find the key object. The key object sort of sets up the level by prompting a checklist of other hidden items you'll need to find if you want to progress, presumably a list of things you would be combining in terms of the story. For example, one key object asked me to find a framed spider, a tribal mask, a microscope, a human skull, and a rotary telephone, which, when combined, caused a fire to smolder and the image of a mask to appear in the smoke. How those items relate to one another, or how they could possibly combine to start a fire, I don't know. I got nothing. In addition to its irrational amalgamations, The Mystery of the Crystal Portal is also muddled by a series of design flaws which make searching for items a more difficult process than it really should be. For example, some objects on the key items checklist won't even be on the screen until you perform a requisite action which prompts their appearance, which would be fine if you knew beforehand, but the game doesn't tell you a thing. So given the premise, you'll be searching like crazy for that one last object you'll presume is just really well hidden, only you'll discover it isn't even on the screen yet. And those are extremely frustrating minutes of your life that you'll never get back, no matter how hard you look or how many frogs and statues you combine. Another problem is the display the game permanently brands onto the screen. You see, there's no toggle option, so the buttons never go away, and frequently the valuable screen real estate they consume is actually hiding the very objects you're pulling your hair out to find in the process. Design flaws like these make The Mystery of the Crystal Portal very difficult to solve, and not in terms of any inherent level of challenge, but rather in a much more tangible sense, as in, it's often difficult to play. And surprisingly, that's amplified by the game's controls. The cursor feels inexplicably slow and unresponsive, which begs a painfully obvious question. Why wasn't this released on WiiWare with pointer-enabled controls instead? Of course, this is a downloadable game which only costs a few bucks, so it wouldn't be fair to expect some kind of transcendent point-and-click experience. And to its credit, The Mystery of the Crystal Portal does do a few things admirably well. It's not all that bad looking for one, especially for a PlayStation Mini and iOS release, and fans of point-and-click adventure games will find a lot to like about scouring for the game's devilishly well-hidden items and progressing its Nancy Drew-like story. In fact, if you've ever been curious about what might happen if you combined Nancy Drew with the enigmatically named Waldo, the mystery of the Crystal Portal just might be a conundrum worth conundruming.